thanks for tuning in. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to put together the little birthday card that is the little shaker that I designed in Cricut Design Space. Before we even get started, I want to point out that somehow during the design process, what are supposed to be my perfectly round circles got all wonked out of shape, so they are not perfect circles anymore. What that means is when you go to put them on top of each other, you're gonna have to twist them and spin them to get them to match up just right. That's especially important when you go to put this little white panel on here. This is 3 separate layers, the yellow, the blue, and then the white on top. You just want to make sure that this white one is going to line up perfectly with your edges. Otherwise it's going to look funny when the whole thing gets put together. But anyway, you'll have 2 yellow layers for the circles, a blue circle, and then the white rectangle with the curved edges. I've already put together the top piece of that that's going to go onto the front of our card. So we've got that. Then you're going to have your scallop for your base card. I've already folded it, and you want to score, well, you want to crease it with a bone folder. Make sure it's nice and folded there. Alright, then what I'm going to do is when I'm putting a card together like this with so many layers, I typically put my base layer over to the side and just work on my top layer first. So that's what we'll do. I've already cut out my little piece of acetate that will be for our shaker window. If you've not watched my other video on how I do my shaker cards, I use the Scotch thermal laminating pouches to make my window. I just take an empty pouch and run it through the laminator, and it gives you a nice firm piece of, I guess I'd call it acetate imposter, because it's pretty close to what acetate is. So alright, we'll take that piece and we're going to put it on the back of the happy birthday cutout. And I went ahead and on my piece, I don't know if you can see it because it is acetate, probably not. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. You can see on the one end that's going to be against the curved edge there, I just held this up to the back and then took my scissors and just snipped off some rounded edges there so that doesn't stick out. And so we'll flip this over, and then we'll take our piece of acetate, and it's going to be put right onto the back of this. So I'll go ahead and put down a thin line of glue. Easier said than done, but we'll try. You don't want to go heavy on your glue because you don't want it seeping out and getting onto that window, otherwise your sequins are going to stick to it. And then I just go through here and just put a couple little dots randomly throughout here. Just keeps it from lifting up a little bit. You don't have to be perfect. You don't even have to do this. I mean, it's going to lay pretty flat anyway, but I do it just to be safe. Alright, now we put our piece of acetate on there, and this is a tight squeeze, so I didn't leave a whole lot of room around the edge of this, so you just want to kind of get it on there as good as you can and make sure you have that whole edge at least sealed. Otherwise your little shaker pieces are going to come flying out when somebody shakes the card. Alright, that looks good. Alright, so next thing is you're going to take your little foam cutout. Excuse me. I explained in my other shaker card video the reason I prefer doing an actual cutout with fun foam of the exact same shape as my little shaker piece is because, especially on ones like this where you have the very thin lines around the edge, it's going to be almost impossible to use foam tape to get a seal around that. So that is why I prefer to use fun foam, because I mean it lines up perfectly. You make, you know, you're certain to have a good seal around the whole window. So that's my preference. All right. So for this piece, we are going to put glue on the reverse. And again, you want to make sure you get your edges all the way around. Now, when you're working with the entire piece in foam, it is a little difficult to make sure it keeps its shape. I mean, it's foam, it's going to bend, it's going to move, but it also is easy to manipulate back into shape. So that's what you do. You just kind of line up, and then I just run my fingernail, kind of try to get it to be right on the edges of our shape underneath. Alright, and then just press it down and spread that glue out that you've got under there. Alright, and then next you take whatever you're going to be using for your little shaker pieces, and this is Recollections Signature Special from Michaels. So I'm not going to use any out of that one, but I am this one. We have some blue stars. I'm going to shake a little bit. I shake it straight into my little cutout there between the foam. And this, you do as little or as much as you want of the little shaker bits. So we've got some of those. Let's see, this is a little boy's card, so I'm going to add some green stars. Alright, these don't want to come out. There we go. Let's add some silver stars. Alright, that's it out of that. And then, let's see, I have this big old box of sequins here. I'm just going to use some of the, just the blue plain old sequins and just put a few of those in there, just to break up all the teeny tiny little ones. Alright. Now I'm going to put a couple of little red ones in there, since on our little clown we've got some red on there. So, alright, good to go there. And then you want to shake it out so they're not going to be raised up there in the middle. Kind of just make sure they're not going to be above that foam line. Alright, and then we take our top layer that we've put the acetate on, and it's going to go right over the top of that. So I'm going to put my glue on my foam. Again, you want to make sure you get a solid line and get as close as you can to that window cut, so you don't have little sequins that sneak up under that edge. All right. And then you just take your little sentiment cutout and get it lined up. There we go. And where the acetate is, you'll likely have to hold it down just a little bit there until that glue starts to get tacky. I guess it depends on what type of glue you use, but I use the art glitter glue, and it takes a couple seconds for it to actually get a good tack to it. Alright, I think we're good. And there's our little shaker. You see, shakes around in there. And I actually made this card last year and gave it to my nephew for his 2nd birthday. And he sat there and played with it for a good 30 minutes, just shaking it around. So, all right, and then we have our little clown guy, and alright, I got a phone call and I use my phone to record my videos, so sorry about that, but we're always done anyway. The last little step is to just attach the little clown guy, and what I'll do is I'll actually go ahead and put this layer onto my base card first. And you'll notice, I mean, you can center it perfectly in there and have it hang off over here, but I come down just a little bit to kind of try to get it right at the edge, just a little bit of hangover. So we'll go ahead and put my glue on here. Put it on. Good thing I used liquid because that was majorly crooked. Alright. Still a little crooked, but I think I can manage. Alright. I'm just going to push them down. And then for our little clown guy here, just personal preference where you want to stick him. I actually got him a little bent when I took him off the mat. So, just put me some glue on him. Actually, his feet are going to hang over, so start up here, and then his little hat hangs off a little bit to the balloon. Alright, I'm going to do him about right there, and then make sure my balloon gets bent back how it's supposed to. Alright, and there is your little shaker card. It is cute, and I mean, this, you can change up the colors, pick a different image to embellish it with. This could work for all sorts of different occasions, and that's pretty much it. Your last step is put your you could just write in here. I always just cut another layer that'll go on the inside, and I'll typically either do a print and cut with my sentiments, or just have the Cricut right in there. For these cards that I put together on video, I will go back and actually just handwrite the sentiment in there, since I usually already have this put in. But that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, you can comment down below on the video, and the link to this file, I will put it in the description. Thanks for watching.